Welcome to the deep dive, where we really try to cut through the noise for you. Okay, let's unpack this. Imagine being so stressed about the future, maybe grappling with success and failure, perhaps even at 3 a.m., and just desperately needing some kind of guiding light. Well, today we're diving into the wisdom of someone who, well, she actually calls herself the most successful failure.
That's quite a title, isn't it? Instantly makes you lean in.
It really does. We're looking at a pretty compelling TEDx talk by Pavna Singh. She's an image and personality transformation coach. And our mission, really, for this deep dive is to pull out the key lessons from her, let's say, unconventional journey and her unique 4D success mantra, things that can help you maybe transform your mindset, get through life's tougher challenges, and actually turn setbacks into, well, into stepping stones.
Yeah, and it's a powerful start. What's fascinating right from the get-go is how Bhavna completely redefines failure. She just flips that traditional idea of weakness completely on its head. And she's not just offering, vague ideas. It feels like a real blueprint for changing things internally, which is so relevant now, isn't it, in this fast-paced world where we're always pushed to achieve, achieve, achieve?
Absolutely. We often miss the growth in just not succeeding, right?
Exactly. Her story immediately makes you question what we even think successful means.
It forces that reevaluation. And successful failure isn't just catchy for her. She seems to live it. She says in the talk that failures actually became her best friends.
Wow. Best friends.
Yeah, think about that. Your biggest disappointments, maybe your worst mistakes, reimagined as allies. She says they taught her how to turn weaknesses into strengths. It's not just changing your view, it's like a whole paradigm shift. And it does make you wonder, doesn't it? Have you, listening, ever looked at your own setbacks, those times you stumbled? Not just as problems, but as, I don't know, maybe vital lessons, even cherished ones.
It opens up possibilities.
What could that unlock?
Well, connecting this to the bigger picture, her statement right away challenges that deep societal fear we have of failing. It makes you think critically. Are we just conditioned to see failure as the end, like game over?
Yeah. Defeat?
Or can we learn, like she clearly did, to see it as a really crucial part of growing? And what's also striking is how early this different view started for her. While other kids were doing math or social studies, her subject, as she calls it, was
People.
observing people. Right. Watching them, studying body language, how they reacted, the dynamics. Basically, while others learned what to do, she was figuring out what not to do.
That's fascinating.
It was a lonely path, she admits. Definitely against the grain. But it fundamentally shaped her, set her apart.
That image is so clear, isn't it? Walking alone, watching from the sidelines, while everyone else is on the main road. And this leads to this really powerful metaphor she uses. She talks about feeling like a joker in a circus, but knowing deep down she was meant for a castle.
That really lands, being in the wrong place.
Exactly. Feeling those early failures, maybe because the situation just wasn't right for who she truly was.
Right.
But even then, even feeling like the Joker, she had this inner conviction. She was manifesting big.
Holding on to that vision.
Yeah. And it was right out of those struggles, that feeling of being mismatched and that desire for something more, that her 40 success mantra started to form.
And this prompts a really important question, I think, for all of us. How often do we find ourselves stuck in circuses, jobs, roles, maybe even relationships?
Situations that just don't fit.
Exactly, that aren't designed for our, let's say, inner king or queen. Her story really highlights how vital self-awareness is and having the guts to trust your intuition about your potential.
Even if it means going it alone for a while.
Absolutely, even when your current reality looks nothing like your dreams. And it's so important to get that this 4D mantra isn't some abstract theory she read somewhere.
Yeah.
It was forged right in the fire of her own often painful experiences. It came from her life.
And those first two Ds, they are,
Yeah.
wow, they're raw and deeply personal. She starts with darkness. She talks about being about 15 and experiencing this darkness so profound she just wanted out, to give up.
Suicide.
So young.
Yeah, just suffocating. But it was right there in that absolute lowest point that she had this huge realization. She'd been looking outside for a light, thinking there was some light at the end of the tunnel somewhere else.
External fix.
Right. But it felt like a lie, hollow. And she realized suddenly the light she needed, maybe the whole universe, was inside her.
Wow.
That darkness, ironically, became her strength. It gave her what she calls sa, this inner courage, this inner power.
That shift from looking outside to finding it inside. What made that so transformative right then?
What do you think?
Well, I think the intensity is key here. It wasn't a gentle nudge, it was a forced confrontation. The outside world offered nothing that felt real to her, no genuine light at the end of the tunnel.
Right. So her insight, this saw, it wasn't about just gritting her teeth and getting through the dark. It was accepting the darkness itself as the thing that forced her to find the light that was always there inside, just hidden by looking outwards.
Like it had to get that dark to see it.
Precisely. It's that classic idea, isn't it? Our greatest strengths forged in our greatest challenges. When external fixes fail, you have to dig deep. She found this unshakable inner resource, her anchor.
Okay, and then the second D she faced was depression. And she makes a point, doesn't she, that this wasn't like the casual way we sometimes use the word today.
Yeah, not just feeling a bit down.
Right, not a Gen Z word, as she puts it, for minor stuff. For her, depression was this deep signal. She says it was her body basically giving up on playing a certain character.
Interesting phrasing.
Yeah, and that her body needed a deep rest. It forced her to stop performing this role that wasn't her.
A role maybe picked up in that circus.
Could be.
Oh.
And shedding that false self, painful as it was, allowed her to find a more real version of herself.
What kind of character do you think she meant? And what did deep rest look like?
That's a good question.
Well, if we look at it broadly, her experience really shows how tied together our physical state, our mental state, and our authentic self are. Her view suggests that what feels like a breakdown can actually be a breakthrough.
Necessary shedding.
Exactly, shedding roles, expectations, identities that just don't fit anymore. The character was probably one built on what others thought, external validation, what success should look like.
Not her inner truth.
Right. And the deep rest. Probably not just sleeping more, but stopping the performance. Withdrawing from all that external pressure to allow for some deep internal reset. She sees these first two Ds, darkness and depression, not as just bad luck.
No, they were essential.
Agonizing, yes, but absolutely essential stepping stones. Painful, but ultimately, she says, they gave her life, pushed her onto the right path.
So after navigating all that internal stuff, darkness, depression, finding that inner core, Pavna realized those first two Ds had to, well, she says, die to make room for the next phase, the active part.
The empowering part.
Exactly. Which brings us to discipline and dedication. And her take on discipline is intense, rigorous. If the alarm was 5 a.m., it was 5 a.m. No snooze button.
No 5.05.
None of that. No shortcuts, no excuses.
Yeah.
And this toughness, she says, came directly from the pain of her past. It wasn't casual. It was a fierce choice.
So beyond the alarm clock, what did that discipline look like day to day? How did she build that structure?
How does she suggest we build it if we struggle?
Well, what's amazing is she doesn't frame discipline like a punishment or some rigid cage. It's a liberator.
That's a twist.
Yeah. It's a structure you choose, but it lets you grow consistently. It stops you sliding back into old, painful ways. Her discipline wasn't just rules for rules' sake. It was consciously choosing consistency, honoring the lesson she learned the hard way.
Building a new foundation.
Exactly. Taking meticulous care of her health, her work, her promises, everything, with real focus. For anyone struggling, her message seems to be, start small, but make it non-negotiable. Like that 5 a.m. alarm.
Build trust with yourself first.
Right. Prove you can keep your word to yourself, even when nobody's checking. Those small daily wins add up to real self-mastery.
Okay, and then dedication. She links this to this really primal force. She uses that analogy of the lion. Why is the lion the king of the jungle?
It's a great analogy.
It's not because it's the tallest or strongest or smartest necessarily.
No.
It's because the lion is totally, utterly dedicated to its hunger.
Single-minded focus.
Relentless commitment to that core drive. And
Yeah.
Pavna took that idea and applied it to herself. She became fiercely dedicated to her hunger to be good, to transform, to evolve, and to own this world and the room.
That's powerful language. Own the room.
Yeah. What does that hunger to be good, transform, evolve actually look like in practice?
Yeah.
How did she feed it?
Well, if we connect the lion analogy to the bigger picture, it shows how sheer dedication, that focused intent, can just blow past perceived weaknesses or what advantages others might have.
It's not about having the best starting hand.
Not at all. It's about relentless, almost spiritual commitment to your purpose. For Bhavna, that hunger meant constantly learning, practicing, pushing past comfort zones every single day.
Exactly, yeah.
Consistently showing up for herself, seeing challenges as chances to grow, never losing sight of that transformation goal. Discipline and dedication, those two Ds, became her engine, turning past pain into powerful, purposeful action. Not just ideas, but the fuel for changing her life.
And this next point she makes is it's really profound, and it challenges a lot of what we're usually told. She shifts focus to the power of personality, inner strength, over just having qualifications on paper.
The credentials we chase.
Exactly. She said it right. She's at just 12 pass, meaning she didn't go to college, doesn't have those degrees, yet here she is, a successful coach. She argues that studies and degrees might open a door, maybe once or twice, get you in the room. But without a genuinely good personality, without working on how you look, how you talk, your body language, she says those doors will eventually slam shut.
That's a bold statement in today's world.
It really is. Does she dismiss education entirely, or is there more nuance?
It definitely raises a big question for us, doesn't it? In this age obsessed with certificates and degrees, are we maybe overlooking the basic human stuff, the things that actually drive connection, influence, real success?
The soft skills that aren't so soft.
Precisely. Bhavna's story suggests that personality, which includes your authenticity, how you carry yourself, your presence, it's not superficial at all. It's deeply impactful, often the deciding factor in the real world.
So not dismissing education, but saying it's not enough.
Exactly. It's insufficient alone. It's a more holistic view. And the why behind her belief comes straight from her own life, right? From being untransformed, experiencing life from the lowest, knowing how people are treated then.
That lived experience.
That empathy fuels what she does now. It lets her genuinely help others transform. And she encourages you, the listener, to think about your own privilege. Maybe it's education, money, or just hearing her message, and really use it. Use it to invest in that deeper self-work, the inner qualities that no degree can give you.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, listening right now, maybe facing your own stuff? Bhavna Singh's journey, it's such a potent reminder, isn't it, that the guiding light we're often looking for out there.
It's usually inside.
It's usually deep within. Her story really shows the power of turning weaknesses into strengths, finding that inner light even in the darkest times, and the importance of discipline and dedication to build a life that means something. She shows that real success can come about not because you have all the resources, money, degrees, but sometimes because you don't. Because you had to build that inner saw, that courage yourself.
Absolutely. And the fascinating takeaway here, I think, is how her whole story invites us to look at our own challenges differently. Every stumble, every failure, even the really dark times. See them not as dead ends, but as invitations.
Invitations for what?
For deeper self-discovery. For forging that inner strength you didn't know you had. It makes you reflect, doesn't it? What darkness or failures in your life might actually be hiding a strength or pointing towards a path to a more authentic, more powerful you.
Looking for the gold in the shadows.
Exactly. It's a call to actively explore that.